Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Tried and Tested podcast. If you're not familiar with me, I am your host, Tracy, and this is a dating and relationship podcast where I talk about everything under the sun when it comes to relationships and dating, of course. We talk about first dates, last dates, no man, no woman, anything that you can think of is what we talk about. And so, today I have a special guest. I have my sis Joy. Hey girl.
Hey,
Thank you so much for joining us today. So I'm happy to have you here.
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right. So your topic today is gonna be it's called What If Their Mother Hates Me? And so even before we start that, I wanted to ask you, Joy, are you single, in a relationship, or are you married? Just so we understand where the advice that you're giving is coming from.
I'm single for now.
Oh, okay. Definitely good. Valentine's Day is almost here. So,
Yeah.
anything could pop off. You feel me? Like,
Anything.
yes. All right. So, to start off, what is the most important thing about a relationship for you, just in general?
The most important thing would possibly be like just us being on the same page as per like are we both equally yoked? Are we both like care about what we both care about? Like I might care about, oh, I need somebody that understands that if I like certain things, or if I say, oh, I like this, and then one day you possibly just pop up out of nowhere and bring it up. But you might be the type of person that be like, oh, I like this, but I don't really need it, and then I'll pop up and bring it. You be like, why you brought it? Like we can't be like, we have to be on the same page.
I definitely understand that. So, like, you have to pretty much understand each other communication wise, like what you like, what you don't like, what you prefer, what you don't prefer. So, just
Exactly.
okay, a lot of understanding. So who are the most important people that accept your relationship for you? For some people, it's their friends, it's their cousins, it's their siblings, it's their parents, it's nobody. So when you are in a relationship, who do you need acceptance from for you to feel okay?
I mean, it definitely feels good to feel acceptance from, especially like family, whether it be my parents, his parents, my siblings, his siblings, all around. I think it's important because once family's involved, it,
Mm-hmm.
it feels it feels better.
So you want your family to like the person you're with, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you, do you like all of your friends and your siblings, people that they have dated in the past or that they're dating? Like, have you ever had a situation where maybe you don't like it, like, somebody that they're with,
Yeah.
but they continue to date them or no?
I mean, I will never tell anybody not to date whoever, but
Yeah.
I mean, they possibly for me, it's possibly that I already told them like about what I would think, but I would never advise them, oh, break up with the person, or oh, you can't be with this person.
Of course, of course. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I would just mostly just tell them to pray about it.
All right. All right. So do you think that the parents have to like the person that you're dating? So whether it's you or anybody, do you feel like the parents of the person, wait, what am I even saying? Mercy. Do you feel like your parents have to like the person that you're with, essentially?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. And so do you feel like that's important when you guys are dating though, or when you guys are getting married? Or just all around they have to like them at all times?
I mean, I feel like it should be all around, honestly, because why wouldn't you like me in the beginning when we're dating?
I mean, some people don't. I think sometimes you see people like, especially like with mothers and sons or fathers
Hmm.
and daughters. I think that in the beginning, because they don't know what you're about and they don't know if you're gonna stick around, they don't want to waste their energy getting to know
Mm,
you. You know what I mean? And a lot
I
of
get
parents
you.
feel like, yeah, nobody's good enough for my son or my daughter. So I think that um I mean, it's possible. Like, yeah, parents don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I understand that part. Like, you don't want to put all your energy into that one person, but I feel like even if you don't want to put your energy towards one person, like when your child is dating somebody, you still, there's still a type of way you still act, like to still be like kind or nice, but not to just be like in general, just mean or, oh, I don't like this person.
I mean, listen, I feel like that's probably what you should do, but there's a question I'm gonna ask you later that you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. But I feel
Okay.
like even from me, like I've dated somebody before, and I think I'm really, really nice. You know what I'm saying? Like my very first
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend, his family, his mom especially, did not like me. She was not really nice to me. She was only nice to me when she needed something. Like if they needed
Mm,
help with something, then she was nice to me. So people are like that. But it was
that's true.
interesting that yeah, I ran into her and she didn't like me and neither did his older sister. And I remember like years later I ran into them at a party and they were just like, "Oh my God, hey Tracy, how you doing?" And I was so confused because like to me it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
ain't like
because
me.
before you didn't like me, now you like me.
So I was just like, man, I think like some people are just, I don't know if that's just like a thing that people do sometimes where they just don't like you. There's no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
they just don't, so all right. So let me see what else. So does it matter, I guess, let's say you're dating somebody, right? Does it matter if both of his parents don't like you or if only wait, let me rephrase the question. So basically, like you know how everyone has their if they have two parents, and usually one of them is their favorite parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would it mind to you, like would it matter to you if only like the mom liked you and not the dad? Or vice versa, only the dad liked you and not the mom, but that wasn't his favorite parent.
Mm. Wait, you saying his favorite parent doesn't like
Mm,
me?
yeah. So like this
Oh,
he has his two parents, but it's like the mother doesn't like you, which is his favorite parent.
that's suspect. I would have to like try to figure out why, like if there's anything that I have done or
Mm-hmm.
something she does not like, possibly a conversation needs to be had, probably like just me and her one on one, and just to see like what's up. But I mean, if she doesn't budge from that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I probably would just have to speak to him.
Okay. So I mean, well, so basically, obviously, the topic is what if his mom doesn't like you? So we're gonna kind of center around that. But my thing is that, so would you not speak to him first? Like, would you talk to her before you spoke to him about it, or?
I mean, of course, I'm gonna speak to him about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I'm gonna speak to him like in general, and then I'll ask him like, do you think it's okay for like just me and mom to speak one on one, just
Okay.
to figure out like if I have done anything that he possibly doesn't like, or probably acted a way that's probably like everybody thinks has different types of respect, like something for her, like me being Nigerian. So Yoruba people, when we see our elders, we kneel down and greet them. So if I'm quote unquote not Nigerian and I go to my boyfriend's mother and she's Nigerian and I don't do that, she probably looking at me like, what's wrong with this one? So
Yeah.
there might be different stuff that I just probably don't know, or probably I have to ask him like, do you know, or like, do you understand like why me and her is like this, like that you can put me on to, so that I could try to, you know, be, level up and do what I need to do.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. So you will try to seek out a way. So that was my next question. So like, would you want to spend like, do you think that you would go about it like trying to spend alone time with her, maybe running errands with her, or do you think that you would just be like flat out like, do you not like me? Like, what would you think like, that you would do?
um, I feel like I would definitely do the one on one. I feel like that's actually a good thing to do, because it's not every time your your boyfriend or your girlfriend need to be there while you're with the with their parents. Like you two, you have to develop your own relationship with them. So
Mm.
I feel like I will definitely do one on one, for our own relationship to grow, not just a relationship stemmed off the fact that I'm just dating your son.
Okay. So as a part of intentional dating, it's like really building your own bond with the mother.
Yeah.
Ooh, that seems like, I mean, I'm listening right now, but that just seems a little bit like intimidating, I guess. You know what I mean? Because
What do you
some
mean?
mothers are really, like, some moms are really, really nice, but then some of them are not. But like, even for me, I was never thinking like, oh, let me go and befriend my boyfriend's mother, you know? But that's, I mean, it makes sense. It's intentional dating, you know?
I mean,
So
yeah, that's the dating to the point that we gonna be married, not just to be dating.
exactly. No, this is true. So basically, let's just say you guys had a conversation, or maybe you didn't have a conversation yet, or maybe you did and she lied. You know, people lie all the time, like, oh, I don't have no
Hmm.
problem with you. And then you still kind of feel like you're not welcome. Do you feel like the mother's feelings towards you would make or break the relationship? Like, do you feel like as much as you love the son and you want to marry them, do you feel like you wouldn't go forward with the relationship or
I feel like basically, if it comes to that, I feel like he has to somewhat intervene because if if you love your son so much and
mm-hmm,
you see that me as his girlfriend or soon to be wife is making him happy, and if your son's happiness should mean a lot to you. So I feel like he needs to step in and be like, Ma, this is who I'm serious with. This is who I'm gonna marry, and I appreciate it if you and her can have your own relationship. So like,
mm-hmm.
things won't be uncomfortable. Like we can all live as a like, as a family. Like it won't be like static.
Okay. I mean, so it's very interesting to me because I feel like that sounds like a good answer, but then I recently just watched a movie with
Hmm.
it had Eddie Murphy, Lauren London, Jonah Hill, Nia Long, and I think it's called You People. It was on Netflix, but basically
Definitely watched it.
okay, so then you know exactly what I'm getting ready to say. Like,
Hmm.
it's two people that love each other, and it's like the marriage could not go on because of their parents, right?
Hmm.
Like one's father and one's mother, it was just like there was just so much commotion, like you know what I mean? So I guess in a situation like that, and whoever hasn't seen the movie, essentially they were two people that of two different races that were going to get
Hmm.
married, and pretty much their parents were just so hard-headed and so like ignorant when it came
Hmm.
to like dealing with these people that their children wanted to marry, and so they ended up breaking off the marriage like right before it happened. Later on they did end up getting married, but it just goes to show you how your family, especially when they're important to you, can cause friction and actually break up a relationship, you know.
Yeah.
So
Family is really a lot because people like even they're saying, I don't know if it's just a Nigerian saying, but they're saying that like, oh, you have to make sure that you marry into a good family because
yeah,
if you don't, it's gonna be like wow, like there's gonna be problems. Which
it's
I
true.
honestly sometimes like I really agree with it because I feel like family. I'm a family person in general, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type of person that I love bringing family together, whether it be mine or yours, whatever. All of us get together, whatever. I love family things. So
Yeah.
even if I see that you're fighting with like somebody in your family, I'll be the one to try to resolve it. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like family is it means a lot. So I feel like it has to be somewhat like we can't go into a marriage and then your family doesn't like me or your mother doesn't like or your father doesn't like or my mother doesn't like you or my father doesn't like you. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be like a little stress for us because like in regards to the movie that you just explained, I feel like both of them was like riding the fence at that point. They wasn't trying to speak to each other as parents. They was just like it's supposed to work out for themselves, which is why they broke up. Like if they both like say Lauren London spoke to her father, and what's his name spoke to his mom. I feel like things could have gotten a little better, but it somehow worked out because the parents decided, okay, yeah, we messed up.
Hmm.
Let's get this together. But it
Yeah.
wasn't from them talking; it's from them seeing that their child was now actually kind of sad. That okay, let's fix something now.
Yeah. And I definitely agree with the saying, I mean, I think everyone says it's like marrying into a good family because
Hmm.
there's a lot that comes with it. Like it's like you have them for the rest of your life. You have some families that are literally they fight all the time. You have some families where people are just really evil. You have people who are just in dysfunctional families with all types of addiction and stuff. And so that's definitely something that you really like. You don't just look at the person and say, I'm gonna marry them. You got to see where they
Exactly.
came from and what they're surrounded by. So, yeah, but one more thing. So before we end, so if you were somebody's mom and your
Hmm.
child brought home someone that you did not like,
Hmm.
what would you do? Like, what would you, in this case, now you're on the other side. If you felt like you know best and there's something in this child that you don't like, that, or the person that you don't like, what would you do?
Mm. I always try to see myself, like put myself in people's situations. So I would think like, how would I react if I got treated like this? So in that predicament, I think if I really don't like something about the girl, I just don't think the girl is possibly right for my child. I'm gonna have a talk with my son, like, oh, like, tell me, explain to me, like, what you like, or what do you see with this girl that you're dating? Do you see a future? Like, what do you like? What don't you like? How do you fix things? How do you resolve things? I'll try to have a conversation with him to just see where his mind is at, and possibly in that conversation he reveals to himself like the reason why like I'm trying to bring this to his attention.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. That's sensible. You know what I mean? All right. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's all I have for you today. On this topic of, what if the mother doesn't like you? And I really like the answers that you gave actually. They really were like they were just good answers in general. Because I feel
Thank
like for me,
you.
I don't even know what I would say. But like that's a whole nother thing. So I mean, okay, well, as you said, we are girl, what am I saying? Mercy for real. Anyway, before we leave off of here, if any of the listeners want to reach out to you, if they want to find you, DM you, whatever, where can they find you on social media?
um Instagram, it would be Coco Duriemi. So COCO_DUDUYEMI.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much. And to my listeners, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. If you guys have any stories, if you have any questions, if you have any content ideas, feel free to send me an email or send me a DM. My information will be in the description box. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you, thank you, and have a wonderful day.